Vanessa, your keynote was about urban fantasy plans in Africa. Who are making these plans and why?
Yeah, I think the people who are making them are largely they're big international property development companies, sometimes conglomerates of architects, engineers, planners. And why they're making them, I think there's obviously a profits motive, and probably in some cases politicians of particular African countries have asked for those kind of plans.
Is there a relationship between the lack of good land management and the urban planning in Africa?
Look, you're certainly right. There is a lack of good land management because the approaches, the laws, the regulations that govern land are largely outdated, colonial, and completely inappropriate in terms of coping with very rapidly increasing populations. So cities are growing. We do have to think about different ways of expanding cities, and we have to think about different land management systems to go along with that.
So the geospatial industry can be of any help?
Absolutely. We have to understand space. We have to understand what is there in space right now before we can plan for it. So knowing in detail what is there right now is absolutely critical in all sorts of ways.
There seems to be a big lack of capacity when it comes to urban planning in many African countries. How can we solve this?
There's a huge lack of capacity. If you look at the number of planners per population in the UK and the USA compared to Africa, there's a vast difference. There are a lot of planning schools, but they have to recruit more students, produce more students, but more importantly than that, they have to educate them in a different way to the way they're being educated right now. They have to be educated to deal with the realities that are facing African cities right now.
How many of these urban fantasy plans are happening?
Well, a lot of them are in their early stages. Certainly the one for Kigali is underway. That is happening. In all sorts of places, the land has been cleared, the billboards are up, and it hasn't got too much further. In Lagos and Kinshasa, the land infill has happened, and it's starting to emerge out of that. So some of them won't happen at all. Some will fail. A lot will probably fail. Others will happen, and they will cause a huge amount of damage in doing so.